Hello and welcome to this new video. In this episode I'll be showing you my glove collection from the past couple of years. So in fact most of these gloves here are from either this year or last year, as I did actually get rid of most of my older gloves. So comparing this video to some older glove collection videos, you will see some gloves missing, but obviously there are some gloves that have continued over. So let's start in the bottom right and then work our way to the top left. So down here are my newest gloves on my collection. I actually got these yesterday. So these are the New Balance Furon Destroy Goalkeeper Gloves. If you want to watch a review of these, I will leave the link down below, and also I will leave a playlist with all the glove reviews in. So these gloves are really nice. I really like the feel of them, but I haven't yet used them yet, so I'm not sure what the grip will be like. But I have heard it's meant to be a really good grip. Moving left, I have the Nike Premier SGT Goalkeeper Gloves. So these gloves, when I first bought them, they didn't really fit me very well, as these are quite a big fitting glove. These are a size 8, and at the time I bought these I was size 7.5. So because of how thick and boxy they are, they didn't really fit me very well, but now they're starting to fit me really nicely. So I might do another playtest with them, as it'll be a more accurate playtest, but I'm starting to really like the design and fit and grip of this glove. Next up we have the Adidas Ace Trans Pro in the Magnetic Storm colorway. This is probably my favourite glove this is probably one of my favourite gloves out of this collection, especially the colourway and design of it. It has this really nice shiny chrome finish kind of on the Adidas logo, and also the 3 stripes here, which look really nice in the sun. Also I'm starting to really like blackout gloves, especially the blackout latex, as you can't really see the dirt on the latex. I've had these gloves probably 5 months now, and I don't know if you can see that on the palm, but there's little to no wear at all, and I wear these every match and even some training sessions. The only bit of wear on both of the gloves is on one of the gloves on the thumb there, and I'm not even sure, I think that's from the velcro on the strap, but there's literally no wear at all on the gloves. Next up we have the All Sport Eliminator Super Grip. So I've mentioned this before, these are probably one of my favourite gloves alongside the Adidas gloves, just because of how nice the grip was and how long they lasted. Unfortunately I have made a video on this, but I did let them dry out and that's why they ripped, but other than that the durability was actually really good. Also another thing I love about these gloves is the easy entry system, as it has a bit of elastic on the strap which makes it easier to get into the gloves. But I definitely recommend these gloves. Back over to the right, I have the Adidas Predator Zones Pro. I think that's what they're called. These are probably the oldest gloves out of their collection. As you can see, that when I first got these, my technique was terrible, and that's why they wore down really quickly. You might notice on the glove over there that I actually peeled off the Nova latex, as someone said that underneath the latex was actually more latex. So I did actually find out that there's more latex. That kind of gives you another life in these gloves. It doesn't really look the best, but if you wanted to wear these again, it does have even more latex underneath the orange latex here. So that's quite cool that it has 2 layers of latex on the fingertips. But obviously these gloves are a couple of years old now, so you probably won't be able to buy them anymore, but these were definitely one of my favourite gloves at that time. Moving left again, I have the Adidas. So these are the Adidas Ace Zones Pro, I think they're called. So I think these are called the Adidas Ace Zones Pro, as there's a Predator Pro and then a Trans Pro. So these are the Ace Zones Pro. These are actually really nice gloves. I really enjoyed them. They lasted quite a while, but once again these did rip. But that rip came along probably a month ago, as I just used them in one training session, and unfortunately it did rip, but that's because it's been dried out for probably a year and a bit. But other than that, these gloves were really nice. I definitely recommend these. So moving along, these are my newest pair of training gloves. These are One Glove Company's Geo Flux Goalkeeper Gloves. So the reason I use these for training only is because I have quite a few match pairs, such as the Adidas Ace Trans Pro and then the New Balance gloves there. So these gloves are fantastic for training, and I definitely recommend them for match as well. As you can see, I've been wearing these for pretty much every training session since I've got them. So that's probably 3 sessions a week, every week. And there's little to no tear at all along the fingertips. There is quite a bit on that finger there, but other than that, there's not much at all. So I definitely recommend these as either a match glove or a training glove. So next up is probably one of the worst gloves in my opinion. These are my second pair of KA gloves I had, and compared to the other ones, these are absolutely terrible. So I'm not sure if this is just a bad glove. I'm not sure if this is just a bad batch of gloves, or the other pair I had were just really good. But the other pair was the KA Technic Evo Roll, I think they were called, and they for me were really good. But for some reason these gloves were absolutely terrible. So this is after about 3 training sessions with these gloves, and it's nothing to do with my technique. At the same time I had those gloves there, I had these, and you'll see in a minute how little to no tear there are on those gloves there, and how much tear there are on these gloves. So I'm not sure why it's worn down so quick. I'm not sure if it's a latex or the tension on the latex, but after one training session there was quite a lot of tear, and the grip anyway isn't that good, so I do not recommend getting these gloves. So I can't remember what these are called, but I think that says FCG on the side there. So these are the KA FCG gloves, so I do not recommend getting these as the durability is terrible. Next up I have another pair of Adidas Ace Trans Pro. This is in the first colorway of the new Nemesis tape kind of, and I really enjoy these gloves. They're pretty much exactly the same as those black gloves there, and then also the newer version of those two gloves there. So the grip is really nice and the durability is actually really good. As you can see, I have used these gloves a lot longer than those, as I use these on Sunday League and also some training for the JPL, and that's why there's a lot more wear and tear on these gloves than some other gloves. But still, I really do recommend getting these gloves. Moving up to the top right, I have the old colorway of the Adidas Ace Trans Pro. I think that's what they're called. I think I might be getting mixed up in the Adidas names, but I'm pretty sure these and those are both called the same thing. But these are the older style, as it has a different rubber layout on the backhand, and it's primarily made of this mesh material along the back with the rubber glued onto it. So these gloves are really good. The durability on these weren't so good, but that's because I mostly use these on 3G and 4G. So on those surfaces the latex normally wears down a lot more. But it's probably due to my technique on why these gloves are worn down so much. So these are just exactly the same as those, but in a different colorway. So once again, these wore down quite a lot, but still they're really good gloves and I definitely recommend them. So moving on to another glove, this is probably one of my favourite training gloves alongside the One Glove Company. And you might be picking up on the trend here. One Glove Company is definitely a brand I recommend, as I really think they're amazing gloves, as I really do recommend them for training gloves. Also definitely for match gloves, but more for training, as the durability is really good. Not so much for matches, as the grip isn't too good. It's still really good, but not as good as some other gloves. But the durability is that good that I do recommend them for training. I've had these gloves for probably over a year now, and you can notice a tear on the gloves. So there's not much tear at all, especially for the amount of time that I use them for. So I got these gloves around the same time that I got those KA gloves, and you can see how little tear there are on these gloves compared to those gloves, and that's why I stopped using those and started using these. Another feature I love about these gloves is the removable finger save. So if you open up the velcro pouch at the bottom, you can insert the finger save into the glove, and that's the same case for the Geo Flux gloves, as they also have removable finger save. Moving on to another glove that I got for free. These are J4K K-Ross gloves. I think that's how you pronounce it. I couldn't actually find these online, so I'm not sure how you buy them. But when I went to the J4 camp, I did get given these. They might look really cheap and flimsy, but the grip and durability is actually really good. As I said in a video a couple of weeks ago, I use these for a whole week of solid goalkeeper training 3 times a day. So as you can see, the durability has actually held up really well. So I would presume that these gloves are not quite cheap if you were to buy them, but still the durability is really good. So I definitely recommend those for training gloves. Especially in wet weather, the grip held up really well. So moving on to the last gloves of the video, these are the One Sport Shield Negative Cut Goalkeeper Gloves. So this glove has 4mm super soft latex, as it says on the backhand there, and I use these primarily in wet and cold conditions, and they actually held up really well. So I definitely recommend these as a wet weather glove. I did actually get sent these as well, so I was very grateful to receive them. The grip is fantastic in wet weather, and also the durability is really good. apart from on the sides here where there's a lot more tension on the latex. Because it's negative cut, there is quite a lot of tension on the latex, so it does flake quite a lot, but that doesn't take away from the grip at all. So I definitely recommend getting yourself some of these, and also they're quite a cheap glove anyway, so I definitely recommend picking them up for wet weather training. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not here. So if I were to recommend one match glove and one training glove, I would recommend the Adidas Ace Trans Pro for matches, and then either of the One Glove companies for training, as I definitely think they're perfect gloves for training, as the durability is really good, and then for matches the grip is fantastic on the Adidas gloves. I haven't yet used a New Balance, so it's a bit unfair as I'm not sure how they will perform, but there will be a playtest released soon on those. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not here. If you want to watch any reviews on these gloves, I'll leave the playlist down below to where you can watch them. Thanks for watching, goodbye.